Hi, welcome to another episode of Loremaker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'm Adam Weezer, associate writer here at Cloud Imperium Games Los Angeles. And if you haven't seen the show before, this is a chance for one of the members of the lore team to sit down, give you a personalized tour behind the myth and mysteries and astronomy that make up the systems that will appear in Star Citizen and perhaps even Squadron 42. So today we're going to go off to a system that is known for a number of things, but those things aren't exactly what they might seem to be at first glance. So today we are going to go off and visit the lovely Nemo System. So using our star map here, I'm just going to enter into the search bar, Nemo, here we are, and we'll just let the map do the work for us and take us on over there. Now, it zoomed right in, right on the system star, which is an F-type main sequence star, which is white in color, as you can see here. Now, it's bigger and brighter than the sun at the center of the Sol system. It's about 1.31 times bigger and about 2.5 times brighter, which is why you can see it's white in coloration here versus the yellow we normally associate with the sun. Now, if you back out, it's a 3-planet system, not too intense. And I'm actually going to take a step on back to show you the 3 jump points. There are 3 large jump points connected to the system. Turning on the jump points through the little bar down here. We'll just fill them all in. Now, it's important to kind of back it up and show you the 3 jump points that are connected to it, which are right here. You've got Fora, you've got Hades, and you've got Coral. And it's important to look at it from this view because the way the jump points are aligned actually had a lot to do with how the system came together. Now, if you look at official UEE records, Nemo was discovered in 2634. But there are some who debate that and actually believe the system was discovered in 2632. And when I say debate, it's not like, oh, maybe this might have happened. It was like this was a full-on court case that happened in the UEE over the actual discovery date of the Nemo system. Now, how'd that happen? Well, if you'll see right here, the system was discovered through Fora. So we're going to go on over here. And the Fora system has a 3rd planet that was being terraformed at the time. And the person, by the Tadmor Terraforming Concern. And they were terraforming this planet right here, Hyperion, and to be quite honest, they messed up. The terraforming process got a little screwy. It ended up creating let's call it an aggressive atmosphere that was kind of like blowing the hyperclay that's known to be on this planet all over the place. So this company had invested a lot of money into making Hyperion a place people are going to want to live, start businesses, all that, and all of a sudden they had basically spent a lot of money to make a place pretty much inhospitable. Now, one of the security contractors for the Tadmor Terraforming Concern at the time was a man by the name of Deho Ochoa, and he went out on just a standard kind of patrol one day in 2632, and he's just kind of floating around in the outer reaches of the Flora system, and all of a sudden he just disappears. His coworkers, his bosses, nobody knows exactly where he is. And they start to get concerned, they put together a search party, and all of a sudden he shows up. He just pops onto comms, lets everyone know he's okay, quits, and he just leaves. Now, at the time, the people of the Tadmor Terraforming Concern didn't think too much of it because they had bigger issues to deal with what was going on in Hyperion. But 2 years later, they were sitting here, and this brand new company made an offer to them. And that company was named Nemo Co. Now, Nemo Co. basically came in and said, hey, we know you've got these old terraforming platforms here that you were using to terraform Hyperion. They're just sitting there. How about we buy them off you for cheap? At that time, the company was looking to raise some money because they were down on capital. They were really, really struggling. So they figured, you know what, we'll sell them for cheap. This is going to be a good deal for us. Now, they thought this because if you look at Fora only has 3 jump points to it. One to, let me try to adjust this a little bit. One to Banshee, which over here was just a dead end at the time. And then the only other jump point at the time was going right here to redder. And if you look at the color of the jump point, which indicates the different jump point sizes, yellow is large, orange is medium, so it's a smaller jump point. And terraforming platforms are huge. So for a company struggling with money, moving these giant terraforming platforms is not cheap, because they'd have to take it apart, put it through this medium-sized jump point to get it to redder, to take it any place else where it could be useful. So they're like, hey, we can offload this cost by selling them at a discount to Nemoco and let them deal with it, taking it through this jump point. Well, after the deal gets done, Nemoco just happens to announce that, hey, we discovered another jump point, which just happens to be in Fora, and just happens to be a large jump point leading to, of course, Nemo, the system that would obviously take their name. Now, Nemo, most people think Nemo is a reference to the water world Ergo, which we'll talk about in a little bit. It's kind of a nautical reference, but it actually isn't. Nemo is actually an anagram for the founders of Nemoco, Norman, Ellis, Mao, and Ochoa. And of course, that last name sounds familiar because it refers to Daiho Ochoa, which once the Tadmor Terraforming Concern executives put these facts together, started to think, wait a minute, there's something strange here. So they actually sued Nemoco, saying that, basically arguing that Daiho Ochoa had found this jump point into Nemo while under their employ, thus entitling them to some of the profits that would come out of this system. Now, this was something Nemoco wasn't just going to roll over and give into, so they took them to, the case went to court, became this big deal, and basically it ended up on the Tadmor Terraforming Concern's plate to prove that Daiho Ochoa had discovered it that fateful day where he just disappeared and then all of a sudden quit. This would require them to actually go out and find the Aurora that he was using at the time, find its black box, kind of check the flight records to see if they could prove it. But of course, Daiho Ochoa had sold that ship, had no idea where it was. He claimed he had to sell it as a way to raise funds to invest in Nemoco. The ship was never found. Eventually, the court case was thrown out, and Nemoco given full control over this system and its destiny, while the Tadmor Terraforming Concern went bankrupt and thus disappeared. Now, what was so interesting about this system that had Nemoco excited about it and had Tadmor Terraforming Concern trying to hone in on it? Well, let's take a look now. Let's look at see what we actually have in the system. So besides the star, we have Nemo 1. We'll zoom right on in here. Now, this is a rocky protoplanet. It's very small. 1 day on this planet, a nice little interesting fact, lasts 186.7 hours. So that's how long it takes for it to rotate just once, which, to help you with the math, is about a little over 7 days for one complete rotation. So a standard Earth week takes for this thing to go around once. Now, it has no resources on it, though there was a brief period where a startup company claimed that a new technologically advanced probe they had created had discovered that there were resources here. Miners in the system got really excited at the prospect of being able to profit off this protoplanet, except the company, Microprobe, basically their technology was disproven, shown just to be crap. Luckily this all happened before any miner decided to risk going to this planet to look for valuable resources that are not there. So no reason to go to Nemo 1 if you're looking to kind of make a profit. Now, why people were so excited about Nemo 1 possibly being full of resources is because Nemo 2, which is a rocky mesoplanet right here, is filled with them. There's lots of mining operations that operate here, and it's actually not too hard to work here, because the other thing Nemo 2 is also known for are lots and lots of meteor impact craters that just kind of like pocket mark this entire planet. So while the meteor strikes can be a little dangerous here, the actual impact craters do make it easier to access the resources that are plentiful on this planet. Finally, we're going to step up and go visit the final planet in the system, swing around here, which is called Ergo. Now this is a ocean world, and it's been terraformed. So this is the crown jewel. This is the reason Nemo Co. wanted this system and didn't want to share this system with anyone else. Now, when I say ocean world, I mean there are no land masses here. If you want to think about Earth, Earth has a lot of water on it. 70.8% of Earth's surface is covered in water, but only 0.5% of the Earth's mass is actual water. Ocean worlds have a lot more of their mass is made up of water. So when you're looking at this world here, it's not just that there's water covering all of it, it's that the water goes very, very deep before it hits any kind of like rock or anything like that. Now, what makes the planet very special and desirable is that it also has a ton of oil resources on it. Now, this was confusing to people at first because the planet has no life on it. There are no fish in the sea. There's nothing there you can go. There's no plants. There's nothing like that. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to terraform it in the first place due to the Fair Chance Act. But the terraforming, there are no animals here, and they suspect, because there is all this oil, that at one time this planet was teeming with some kind of life. They're not quite sure what, because they haven't found any fossil records either. Remember, the crust, the actual rock of this planet is so far underneath this water. There's tons of pressure that would build up for them to go down there and try to explore and find something. So the running theory is that an extinction level event at some point over the millennia knocked out what was alive on this planet. It settled at the bottom. That created the pockets of oil that people go crazy for, and basically why they terraformed and then drilled into this planet. Now, since there are no land masses, basically all the landing zones, the places you're going to visit here, are going to be floating cities. Old terraforming platforms, or once that was done, were immediately converted over to housing and shopping and different more civilian use. Same thing with the old oil rigs. So there's some of the older platforms here are going to have a little bit of a more industrial feel to them, a little bit more, let's just say, rough around the edges to a certain degree. Now, the other famous thing that is known for Nemo is that in orbit, circling around Ergo, is the famous space whale. T-shirts all around the verse that'll read "Ergo, I got blubbered." Lots of different tourist knickknacks can be associated with the space whale, which is an oblong asteroid that basically circles this planet. Many will dispute that it actually looks like a space whale, that it just maybe bears a kind of a resemblance, and over the years it was turned into a tourist trap to basically get people to visit the system and want to check it out. Whether or not it actually looks like a whale is, well, that'll be for you to decide when you get to go visit Ergo someday in the future. So that's our little look at the Nemo system, this 3-planet system here. Hope you enjoyed the tour, and yeah, we'll see you next time on Loremaker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.